Nearly 32 million Americans are going to be in the path of totality for the 2024 Great American Solar Eclipse, but many people are going to travel to the path of totality. And today we're going to be breaking down the forecast of what you can expect to see if you will be able to even see the solar eclipse from where you're going to be. All coming up in just a bit. All right, let's go over briefly what you're going to see for the weather-wise. So we're looking at the precipitation type and rate with the GFS forecast model here. And so far, this is throughout the entire time the solar eclipse is going to be happening. So this starts right when it starts to move into the United States down in Texas, and this loop ends whenever it goes all the way through Maine. So that's what we're looking at right now. This is our time frame. So far you can see a low pressure center up here to the north. That's going to bring some rainy conditions up here for much of Illinois, even some snowy showers back on the back end of that when that cold air wraps down. We're going to see some snowy showers over here for much of the Rockies in Wyoming and Colorado. And then we see a lot of action here down into the south here. So we see some convection down here in Texas, Louisiana, some thunderstorms most likely possible in the daytime. Not really taking up too much time. It's not going to be heavy mass precipitation, but we do see a good bit of precipitation anywhere from Texas up there through the western Ohio Valley and up here into the western Great Lakes. So we also see over here a system moving into the Pacific Northwest here over into Washington that will also likely bring down those chances of you being able to view the solar eclipse from Seattle and any areas over there. We do see precipitation moving in there as well. And then some snowy showers are possible over here north of Las Vegas, up here in Nevada and Utah. Now, let's go over the cloud cover because this is a big factor, okay? Maybe you're not going to be in the rain, but are you going to be able to see the solar eclipse with the cloud cover that you have? So I want you to pay attention over here in the top right-hand corner. I have the times listed here so you can convert the times. I have Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific time there for all of the people in the United States. So first off, let's go ahead. This is going to be starting off at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is right when the solar eclipse begins on Monday, April 8th, the morning of Monday, April 8th. And you can see here, so far we see a lot of cloudiness. So a lot of cloudiness down here for the south. A lot of people down here in the south are not likely going to see the solar eclipse this year if you don't move and go to the path of totality in an area where you will be able to. And then we also see here a lot of clouds for the mid-Atlantic. A lot of cloudy action up here to the north. That's not really going to move out of the way, and you'll see that in a minute here. And then we do see a bit of action here, a bit of cloud cover down here in the southwestern United States. So a lot of areas to look out for. And then, of course, over here in the Pacific Northwest, when that system is moving in off of the Pacific coast, we're going to see that cloud cover as well. Now, moving ahead, we're at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time now. Still a lot of cloud cover up here to the north. So again, not really letting up too much. We're still seeing a lot of that. I know a lot of people are going to be headed to Erie, so you can see there Erie has a little bit of a chance there to start seeing that solar eclipse action. So you still, as of right now, will likely be able to see that. Keep in mind, this is still 4 days out, so some things can switch up and change on us. But for the most part, this is what we're looking at as of now. We also see still here down for the south, much of the south is still covered by that cloud cover. Portions of Georgia and Florida may see some pockets to view it, but not really a good chance for much of the south there. And then we see the southwest still linger by that cloud cover and some pockets of cloudiness up here in the Pacific Northwest. By the time of 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we start to see things let up here for the Northeast. We do see for Erie, you're going to start to see those pockets. This is just before totality up there. About 2 hours or so, and we do see that up here for the Northeast, not really too much cloud cover. You do have a better chance at seeing the solar eclipse as of what we're seeing right now. And of course, down here for the south, a lot of that cloud cover. To the north, still locking in that cloudiness, and the southwest as well. And then we still see those remaining pockets up here for the Pacific Northwest. Now, moving into the afternoon, this is just after totality up here in Erie. And again, you may be wondering why I'm mentioning Erie so much, simply because a lot of people are going to be headed up this way for the solar eclipse. And I've memorized that time because I live near Erie, so that's why I'm referencing it so much. But we see here by 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are still not seeing any cloud cover let up here for much of the northern United States. Down here in the southwest, we are seeing more cloud cover lock in, and then that gets even beefier down here for the south. Maybe a couple minimal pockets here down in Florida where you might be able to view that, but just really a lot of cloud cover to the north and south here with a little stretch, a little band there right here in the middle where you can see some chance at seeing the solar eclipse as it moves past totality through the United States. Now, in our final frame here, this is just about when the solar eclipse is wrapping up and all this is through. We're going to see that cloud cover still here to the south. So again, a lot of portions such as Arkansas, eastern Texas, Louisiana, all those areas are likely going to have no chance as of now of seeing solar eclipse activity. And then up here to the north, we see a lot of that cloud cover starting to move southward. So we see a lot of that colder air bringing that cloud cover down. And then we see that system moving into the Pacific Northwest, kind of bringing a lot of rain and cloudiness. So not really ideal for viewing the solar eclipse. Still, the Northeast is looking very ideal up here in Maine and up here in Vermont and New Hampshire, and even up in northeastern New York. Those are all good areas that look to be the best as of now for viewing the solar eclipse. Now, because the time frame and all those factors are complicated, I've made a simplified map here to show you what we're looking at. So we're going to start off here for the areas that will likely not have a chance at seeing the solar eclipse. So these areas up here in the red, anywhere within the red, I'm going to say that you are likely going to have a very low probability. As you see here, it's labeled not likely. I don't think you're really going to be too likely to see the solar eclipse if you stay within this area. We also see here down for the south, including Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's the southwest there. Not really good chance in those four corners there, simply because of that cloud cover that's lingering. And then for much of the south here, as we talked about, including Dallas, Texas, all the way over to Charlotte, North Carolina, we do not see too much potential for you guys to view the solar eclipse from those regions. Now, moving on to the yellow, this is the possible. So this is kind of your 50-50 as of right now. We're not ruling it out. You may have a little bit of minimal cloud cover. You may be cloudy in the morning and then not in the afternoon. This is kind of where things get a little bit mixed up between the two regions. So you can see here for much of the mid-Atlantic and a lot of the middle of the United States, we do see this potential for this possible viewing. Even including up here in the Pacific Northwest, I'm not ruling out the potential yet, even though we do have that system moving in off the Pacific coast there. We do also see here up for Erie and Buffalo, New York. Those are all areas that have that possible chance. And then for this portion up here of North Dakota, northeastern Montana, and northwestern Minnesota, that's also an area where you have that possible chance at viewing the solar eclipse. And then finally to our green region, this is the best area as of right now that I can give you that likely will see the solar eclipse with little to no cloud cover. So as of now, this includes Boston up there, Massachusetts, much of the Northeast, and then we also see down here for the Southwest, due to the lack of moisture and just typical dry air masses, not really bringing a lot of moisture into the area, so there's not really a possibility for cloud cover, and the GFS is showing not a lot of precipitation activity, not a lot of cloud activity, so these areas will likely have the best chance at seeing the solar eclipse with little to no cloud cover. I want to thank you all so much for watching this forecast. A big thanks to today's sources, Pivotal Weather, where all those forecast models seen in today's video came from. A big thanks to our channel members, Chris, Betty, thank you for supporting the channel and making this possible. I would ask you to consider subscribing for more US forecasts free of charge, and I would ask you to consider following the Weather at a Glance official Facebook page for more inside information and complimentary personal forecasts when you message me on my Facebook page. Again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.